Real JP Multimedia, proud sponsor of the Nerdball Podcast. Here to help you with all things audio, video, graphics, photo, web design. From weddings to real estate, commercial business to private use, we offer a big variety of services for almost any budget. And if we can't do it, we will find someone who can. Find us at realjp.com. That's REELJP.com. Real JP Multimedia.
Good morning, I'm Jax Hudson, and this is the Nerdball Podcast.
This is the Nerdball Podcast with Lorenzo Melcher.
Perfect. All right, Jax, thanks for coming back on the podcast.
Of course. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, so you, we'll kind of work backwards a little bit. You spent this summer with us coaching the football team. You reached out to me, and at first, because you're a kicker, and that's all you've ever done for as long as I've known you, I thought, yeah, he can come out, he can help our kickers, you know. But really, you wanted to do more than that, right?
Yeah. I wanted to just grow my knowledge of football, mostly defense, because I didn't have a great understanding of certain coverages and stuff like that. Because as you know, I want to coach when I'm done playing. Yeah. Not just kickers, overall football. But special teams coordinator in the NFL would be a bad gig.
Yeah. So you're at Tiffin now. Did you, because we'll start, you're with your first year there, it didn't go as planned, right? You got injured.
Oh, yeah.
What exactly happened again?
So I had a stress fracture in my tibia.
Okay.
And at first we thought it was a partially torn meniscus. But so what happened is my knee swelled up, and this was like not too long before one of our games, first game and stuff. So my knee swelled up, and I decided to keep kicking, lifting, and running on it.
Against the advice of people not to, or you just didn't say anything?
I didn't say anything because it was so close to a game. I was like, I can't miss my opportunity. So I was like, I'll be fine. Because it's happened before. This swells up a little bit, get a little fluid in your knee.
And where were you at in, because you're like, I can't miss my opportunity, where were you at in the depth chart of this?
I was starter.
Okay.
During camp, I got the starting job against a fifth-year senior.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a great punter. He was going to go for an All-American season, but he unfortunately broke his foot in a part where he can't come back next year. So
no, really?
Yeah, he's a great guy. But I think he'll even tell you that I'm the better kicker out of the two of us.
So did he do both when he was there?
Yes. Before I got there, he punted and kicked field goals a few times.
Okay.
But once I got there, it was like he'll handle kickoffs and punt, I'll do field goals. Okay. I was like, I'll score the points. That's kind of how I was in high school too.
Yeah.
But
so you got you're injured clearly, but you're not saying anything to anybody.
No, I was too afraid to. Yeah. Didn't want to risk.
Well, I would be too, because you're a freshman. You're gonna get the starting field. You're gonna be able to kick field goals as a freshman. So yeah, it'd be tough to say anything. So so what eventually happened then? So
I'm in study tables, right?
Yeah.
Because every freshman was required 2 hours of study tables a week, 3 hours, whatever it was, until the next semester if you had good grades, which I didn't have to take in my second semester. But first semester, so I'm sitting there with the football team, doing my study tables at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And I stand up. I'm like, that's not right.
Oh, no.
I couldn't straighten my leg out. So I think it was adrenaline kept me from feeling any pain in my leg while I kicked, lifted, and ran on it. And then suddenly I stand up and I couldn't straighten my leg. I heard a pop. I was like, that's not good. Our special teams GA was running the study tables. So he's like, you good? I was like, I don't know. And then he's like, go to the trainer in the morning after lifting. Yeah. So I lifted again on it. Yeah. I lifted again on it. It was mostly an arm day, so it was fine.
Okay.
But I did do a few leg things on it, just dumbbell RDLs. Not super heavy, but I did a few things on it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, at first they were super worried it was a torn meniscus because it was inflating my meniscus. So I'm bow-legged.
Okay.
My legs go like that.
Yeah.
And they think that the pain from my tibia was shooting it up into my knee, and that's why they thought it was my meniscus at first.
Okay.
So that's why they were worried about that. Turns out it was only a fracture in my leg, but yeah. Exactly. But it wasn't a good situation.
So do you have to, is it just resting it, or do you have to get surgery or anything?
I did not have to get surgery because it wasn't torn, and they only I mean, by the time I got my MRI, it was like a long process actually for some reason. Like, guarantee if it was a starting quarterback, he's in there like that. But by time,
just the kicker.
By the time I was redshirted as a kicker, they're like, we'll take our time.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm kidding. It was just a crazy, like, for some reason, our players were dropping like flies this season. So it took time to actually get into the MRI because the football team can only get in there at a certain time of the day.
Okay.
So I had to wait about a week. And by the time I did, they were like, your leg's already starting to heal itself.
Oh, nice.
So they decided not to do surgery, but that's good that I didn't have to.
Yeah.
I recovered quicker. I was on crutches for like a few months probably, but I recovered quicker than they thought I would, so I was good. But it was too late. I would have been back for the playoffs, but we unfortunately didn't make them this year, which is a letdown. But
so how did the season go then?
It was good overall. We should have been better than we were.
Okay.
We just had a few issues on and off the field that overall just hindered us from going as far as we could. Like, we wanted to make a national championship run this past year. And for those who don't know, Tiffin's like a powerhouse D2 school. And this year was supposed to be the year. We had a really, really good quarterback, Nick Watson. I think he's going to be playing in the XFL and giving a shot into the NFL.
Nice.
He ended up getting hurt, but he never missed a game. He played hurt, and he can run. That's one of his assets is he can run.
Yeah.
You take away that whole asset of the game, it kind of hurts you a little bit. We had key injuries on defense, like our entire linebacking core at one point was out. So just a lot of injuries really hindered us. But it was a great time. It showed me really I love football. Because I know Coach Connor always says if you want to play college football, you have to love the work, not just playing on Friday nights. But it's a lot of work.
Sure. Yeah. It's. I mean, people say, well, it's just D2 or just D3, but they do just as much. You know, probably, obviously not. They do just as much without the money, right? Okay, our locker room isn't as big, our weight room isn't as big, our stadium isn't as big, but the work doesn't change.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you were out all season.
Yep.
Just now you were just worried about school. Did that make it easier for you being a freshman? Like, yeah, it sucks that I can't play football, but at least I can get used to college life.
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I did get a focus on college life, like you said. And I got to have really good grades. Me and my best friends who were all living in a house together next year up in Tiffin, we all competed to see who can get the best grades because we have a big academic wall. And we were all like competing like, oh, I'm going to get on that. I'm going to get on that. And then we all got on it.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh. No one won.
Well, I guess everybody won.
Yeah, well, when you all have 4.0s, it's like no one can win. You can't go up from there in college. So it's like, I guess we'll all win this one. But it's like if you look at the academic board, it's like mostly just our friends. It's like 6 of us. We're like, hey, guys, it's us. Like,
this is a football thing, the academic board? Or what is
yeah, it's like a football, like the football players who have like the best grades and stuff like that. Yeah. And also know in the sense that when I did get hurt, I did go through like a stage of depression, like which is normal when you get hurt and like it's a big injury like that. I'm sure most people that have gone through an injury like that have experienced it. But one minute I'm like on top of the world. I'm a true freshman starting on a great team.
Yeah.
And then just like that, it's taken away from me.
Yeah. So
I mean, and I couldn't kick. You know how much I love kicking. I kick all the time.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the last time I kicked for like 2 months, and it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible, but.
Yeah, the way you describe like your friends making bets and saying like, "Hey, who's gonna get the best grades?" or whatever. It reminds me when I lived in BG, I wasn't a student. I just worked, and my 3 roommates, 2 of them were biology majors, and 1 was a math major. And we would walk in. We have a huge whiteboard, like most places do. We have in our house that we rent. We had a huge whiteboard, and you know, college men always put vulgar stuff on there or whatever, make fun of each other. I'd always walk in, there'd just be like chemical equations on there and like protons and like all this stuff.
Hunting.
Like guys, what are we doing here? But that's just how it was, So that's why as soon as you said that, that's what reminded me of me and my friends. So you all get good grades, and that was your first semester.
First and second, we competed to see who can get better grades, both of them.
Okay.
And one of our friends dropped out of the race to win it second semester. So
why did you drop out? Because he wasn't doing well, or what?
We didn't drop out of the race. He's gonna get better grades than the rest of us. So yeah. He was the one kid to get a 4.0.
What did he get? Like a 3.9 or something?
3.8. Yeah.
What a loser.
Yeah, right. Well, the funny part is, so our math class this year was college statistics, and for our final exam, we got to take it in a group. of like 4. There was 5 of our guy friends in that class,
no.
and he showed up last. I'm like, hey man, that's on you. So he got put in like a group with not the smartest kids.
Okay.
And it kind of hindered him a little bit.
Sure,
but that literally, that test is what took him off the board.
Oh,
so it kind of sucks, but.
And so, what are you? I didn't even know what your major in.
Sports management.
Okay, all right.
Athletic administration because I want to coach. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So how? Because most coaches in high school, anyway, are education. So but you're looking already beyond that because you're in college now.
Yep.
You're gonna, I'm assuming, be a GA when you're done. Is that stuff already like pre-planned? Like this is gonna happen, or is that something you just have to wait for when you're done and you're a graduate assistant?
Both at the moment is pre-planned. If my head coach stays at Tiffin, like oh, I'm gonna hire you and stuff like that.
Okay.
And if he leaves, I don't know.
Yeah.
He by the time I'm done playing, which will be another 4 years because I'll have my redshirt year left.
Okay.
He'll probably be in the NFL by then.
Yeah.
He's a great coach. Great offensive mind. Like, really knows, like, the RPO and stuff well that, like, teams can't cover it and stuff. So,
yeah.
He's a great coach. So, if he's gone, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Find another school, I guess. But hopefully I can just work for him because he's a great coach.
Since you were injured, were you able to, were they allow, say, hey, you can I want to go to this meeting, coach, were you able to do pretty much, like, whatever you wanted?
Yeah, for the most part, I was able to go to whatever meetings I wanted. Mostly I stayed in the quarterback meetings just to learn from our head coach because he was also like a quarterback in college, so he like taught the quarterbacks as well.
Okay.
And during COVID, though, in the first semester, it was harder. But overall, like I got to go to whatever meeting I wanted. But if there's limitations due to COVID, then I couldn't go in, obviously, because they're not going to kick out a quarterback for the injured kicker.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
So in that short amount of time, how much did you learn? I feel like you learned
so
a lot,
much.
Right? Yeah.
Like, I knew that there's obviously more than one linebacker and all that stuff, but like I didn't know how to identify like which one was which, stuff like that. Like, I learned that stuff in, like the first couple hours I was there. Like, I mean, RPOs, I knew what RPOs were, but suddenly I knew how to like break it down, who's the cues, the reads, stuff like that. It's very involved. And I know my dad, he used to think football, because he played soccer in college, great soccer player. He used to think football is like, oh, get man with ball. Don't let man get tackled.
Sure.
Stuff like that. Like, very Mongo way of thinking about it, too. And then suddenly he has, like, a great appreciation for it. Just because, like, he didn't know zone and man coverage was even a difference. He's like, I thought they just didn't let him score. So, So, I mean, a lot of people who don't know suddenly get, like, great appreciation for how involved football really is. So, I mean, that's a big... People who think it's just a little macho sport to hit someone, but it's very involved.
Being a coach really changes the way you even watch games too, because you're looking for, like, you're just watching. When you're a little kid or when you don't know, you're just watching the football game.
Yep.
But now you're like watching, like, a lot of times like, oh, that's a similar play we run, or that was RPO, and now we rewind out, talk to Mateo and my dad about it or whatever. How cool this play was, but that definitely changes. You can't watch it regularly anymore.
Yeah, a lot of. So we're Rams fans. Super Bowl champs, but so like watching the Super Bowl, and it was a back and forth game. Most of the second half we were down actually. So my dad just like asking me questions like, what should they do here, stuff like that. I'm like, well, I'm not Sean McVay, but this is what I would do and stuff like that. So I mean, it's totally like the way you look at the game's different. Like, you're almost breaking it down as you're watching it, but your mind has to move really fast to do that. So
sure, yeah. That's why it's tough to coach.
Yeah.
Defense, it's just a chess match all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of Rams fans, Mateo and I went to the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you've been to the Hall of Fame since they won the Super Bowl.
I've not.
Dude, they have a Super Bowl experience. So you sit in this little theater, and it's basically like all the highlights from the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. I did that when the Broncos and Seahawks played.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
To see, like, I mean, I didn't care either way of either team, but it was cool, especially if you're a Rams fan, like to see it again.
I might have to go back.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. So you spent this summer with us as an intern, I guess, right?
Yeah, basically Coach Connor's assistant intern.
Yeah. And you were able to be a part of everything, or as much as you could, right? I mean, I felt like you were there a lot.
I didn't miss a day.
Yeah, all the weightliftings and that kind of stuff too.
All the lifting, all the 7 sides. I didn't miss. Yeah, I was there every day.
Was there, because I know you talked to your coach about it too, was there like things you had to do, like, specifically, or was it just like, hey, you're gonna go do this thing, you're gonna help coach?
Do you mean like for Tiffin? Like,
yeah,
I have to like
Tiffin.
get it like cleared and stuff?
Well, just I mean, even after that, like as you were actually like helping coach, like was there like certain things you're like, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you do these things. You gotta,
like make sure I'm learning.
like anything you had to like fill out or anything, or was it just like, hey, go learn stuff?
I mean, I just had to clear it through the NCAA.
Okay.
And I mean, some people are worried about like, oh, why aren't you up at Tiffin right now? Like, why aren't you lifting up there? D2 can't make stuff mandatory until August. And as a kicker, they know I'm going to get a lot of work in on my own.
Yeah.
Almost like every day. And I follow the same lifting plan and all that stuff that they're doing up there. So I'm still getting the same amount of work in. I miss the guys a little bit, but still getting the same amount of work in here that I'm there. So they knew like I'd be fine kicking down here on my own.
And then, was this something you said like, hey, I want to do this?
Yeah. For two reasons. One, because I need an internship to graduate.
Okay.
But unfortunately, I found out it's not going to count this year.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Why?
You have to be an incoming junior at least, I guess. I'm like, really? You couldn't tell me this like 4 months ago now? Like, I've been working for 4 months now.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I was happy to do it either way.
Sure.
Give me something to do over the summer. Give me a job to do. Another day, another dollar, but you don't get paid. That's what I was saying almost every morning to my mom. Yeah. Yeah, but it was a great time this summer. I really appreciated like Coach Connor and Coach Ward like letting me learn from them every day.
Yeah.
I will say the hardest part about it is like leaving now because I've developed like such a great relationship with like a lot of guys. Like,
it's fun.
Blue Ball, like Josh Tackett's. I mean, I've been close with Joe Cini and Joel Katie for years, but like there's so many guys that I got close with this summer, like as a coach and like as a man. That's like, wow, now I gotta leave but.
And that happens, when you get into coaching, that happens every 4 years.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Especially when I was the freshman football coach, that was hard. As I got these guys as freshmen, and I had relationships with all of them because I was the head coach. And then when I came to the varsity, there were some offensive linemen I had no idea who their names were halfway through the season because I didn't see them. So as a head coach, you come in contact with most of the kids. Yeah. Especially as a freshman coach. But it's crazy how fast that happens too, building those relationships or how they blossom and you're just like, wait, now it's over. Same thing with like, Connor's a senior now.
Yeah. Of course. I feel like he's still a sophomore to me.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy.
It is crazy, but I know like how you just said that like they grow so quickly. Like I remember day 1 or 2 of lifting. Josh Tackett's comes up to me and was like, Miles? Like his older brother. I'm like, yeah, we are like good friends. And suddenly Josh and me are like attached at the hip in like the film room and stuff like that every day. So it's just like cool how quick like relationships develop. And like Gio Restivo, like he got pretty close to me these past few weeks. Like he asked me to tap some kickoffs to him so we could catch him. And that was one of the things is like, man, like I can feel like appreciated as a coach. Like when they actually like, it's good to be needed, I guess. Like, it's good to be needed. Yeah.
Everyone. I always tell people it's good to feel wanted, like because otherwise, like if no one wants you anywhere, then they're like, well, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
do
exactly.
you have a bad personality or bad attitude, or do I just give all this vibe? So yeah, it's fun it's fun to be a coach. That's why we do it, right? We don't do it for you, definitely not for the money because there is none.
Yeah,
but even for us, we technically don't get paid, and we get paid from August to the end of October. Anything before and after that. We just do it because we want to do it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. A lot of people were like, oh, are you just doing like the dirty work and stuff? I'm like, this is what I have to do when I'm a GA anyway, up till 4 a.m. So breaking down film and stuff. But I mean, I was happy to go get the bags for Coach Ward so they can run over them and stuff like that. Like I was happy to do all the dirty work. I'd rather be doing the dirty work than no work at all. And just like standing there like you said, wanted or not wanted. Like I'd rather do all the stuff that no one would want to do rather than just stand there doing nothing.
Well, you got to put yourself in a position where even if it's like, hey, we need someone to go get the bags. You're like, well, you're standing there, go do it. And after a while, then coaches appreciate that kind of stuff and they'll ask you to do more stuff or more fun stuff, you know, and eventually you'll get what you want to get.
Yeah, I mean, it got to the point where Coach Conner just throw me his keys and tell me to do stuff. Like, like he was like, go close the gate, go open the gate, go get the helmets, go like for like another player and stuff like that. I'm like, man, that number 12 jersey looks nice. I can just steal it right now. There's no cameras or nothing. But no, I mean, it was fun. Like I could feel like he trusted me and like, he knows what he's doing now. He knows where all the equipment's at. Like, a couple days ago, a kid needed to get a chin strap. He just threw me his keys to go get the chin strap for him. Like, okay. Like,
I even heard him say, "Do you know what key it is?" You're like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah,
I've been doing this a while.
It's been way too much now. I know which key it is. I know where it is on the ring. Like,
yeah. So you didn't get paid for this, you said. Did you have a job this summer?
No, I kept it very open to football.
Oh, nice.
Which my mom hated. I
Yeah,
was like,
because most kids come back and work and work and work. Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I'm working too, but I just don't get paid.
Did you tell her it doesn't count towards school yet?
Like a week ago. Well, that's like mostly when we found out it was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I thought I told her. I guess I just told my dad. But then I told her like a week ago. She's like, what? And she's like, you've been getting paid this whole summer. I was like, yeah, I know. But
So it's looking ahead to next summer. Is this something you're gonna do again, or you're gonna
I plan
just
on
wait?
it.
Okay.
I mean, I plan on getting an on-campus job, like sitting in our athletic center, just checking kids in and stuff like that, so I can at least have spending money throughout college.
Yeah.
But honestly, every summer I plan on interning if I can, just because the experience level, and it's gonna look great on my resume.
Sure. Yeah.
It's gonna look great on my resume. Getting to like intern under great coaches like Coach Ward and Coach Connor, like
Yeah.
at a school like Perrysburg too, like a big D1 school.
Yeah.
Like that just looks great on a resume.
And next year it would actually count, right?
Hopefully, going into my junior year.
Incoming
Yeah.
junior, right? That's the thing.
If it doesn't count, there's gonna be a problem. Yeah. And don't tell me at the end of the summer.
I don't think that would change what you've done though. I think they could have told you a month in. You're like, well, I'm still gonna do this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Coach Connor might not know which key it was. I had to be there for him. Yeah.
I don't even. Do you have a scholarship at Tiffin?
Partial. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah. It's not a full yet. I plan on getting it there. I mean, people call me crazy, but I plan on having an All-American season this year. I
Sure.
really do. Like,
well, it'd be not like. I mean, for someone who loves football, I'd be like, I expect to do okay.
Yeah.
Like, no, if you expect to, you should expect to do the best you can do.
yeah, even to that. Like, I mean, I've been kicking lights out, like the best I have in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's crazy. Like I've gotten some tips from my buddy Austin Seibert, who's the Lions kicker. I'm friends with his little brother. That's how I met him.
Okay.
And like he's given me some tips this summer that have like really helped me. Just because like I've seen him around like camps and stuff like that. And no, he's been a great help. Like some like the cleats that I wear soccer cleats obviously, but like I used to have a problem with like catching the ground because I kick off the ground, you know.
Yeah.
So I would shave off the front studs now.
Okay.
So it's like a golf club, just like gliding.
okay.
Yeah, he taught me that one. I was like, that is genius.
You notice a bit difference?
Oh yeah, like I mean the ball I get like another 5-10 yards on like every
really?
kick now. It's like because I'm not limiting myself hitting the ground anymore, and my leg has just developed so much.
Yeah.
I mean being in college, being in that program has got me a lot bigger, a lot stronger. I graduated at 120 pounds, and right now I'm 154. So I mean,
120 pounds.
Yeah, believe it or not,
Wow.
yeah. Whew.
154. Nice.
Yeah, so I mean that's great improvement, but that comes with a lot of strength too.
Sure.
So I'm a lot stronger than I used to be, and like all over my body. It's just getting bigger and stronger, and it helps with kicking. I'll tell you that.
Sure. That's funny. Did he just like randomly say like, hey, shave these front cleats off, or were you asking a specific question about it?
I mean, I knew his brother shaved him off,
Yeah.
but I thought Logan Seibert I thought he was like being kind of crazy. I'm like, no one shaves their cleats like that, bro. Like, oh, that's a waste of money. I might just like.
Or you didn't know why, I guess. Really.
I didn't really. I knew it would like help you from not catching the ground, but I didn't think anyone really did it. I was like, I guess when your brother's in the NFL, you can buy cleats every day or something. Like, yeah. But then I was at a camp with my old kicking coach, with Austin, who also was his kicking coach.
Yeah.
So me and Austin Seibert were like hanging out, and I was catching the ground when I was kicking. He's like, "Do you not shave the studs?"
Oh, like everyone does.
I'm like, this is a real thing. Like, I had no clue. I mean, I guess some NFL players do it, some don't.
Yeah.
It's preference, but it's definitely my preference now.
Yeah.
It's definitely my preference now. But
And why'd you decide to kick off the ground? Because in high school, did you use a tee?
yeah, I used a 1/4 inch
Yeah,
just
real
for
small.
the holder. Yeah. In the ground, you have to kick. In college, you have to kick off the ground, and same with NFL. So.
Okay, and you said just for the holder, so that's so the holder has a spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot harder to hold when there's no block there to like
No
visually
target.
look at. Yeah. Okay. And like I teach like my holders to like you put your finger on the ground, put it where your fingers were, stuff like that. But and that helps a lot. But it's so different using a block. Like it helps me a little bit because I have like the visual of like I know it's gonna be somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And if it's on like off the ground, I'm staring at that spot. And if it's off in any way, like even like the slightest bit, I'm like, he missed. Like, so he missed my spot.
It's such a quick play that the snap has to be right. They have to catch it. They have to hold it. You have to step right. And all these things in like a matter of a second, I feel like has to happen perfectly.
Oh, yeah. It's like something crazy like 1.6 or something like that. Yeah. I mean, very, very blessed at Tiffin. Like, our long snapper, who's my roommate and like best friend, he's probably I'm not even trying to like hype him up, probably the best D2 long snapper in the country.
Yeah.
Like, he really is. Like, he is a D1 level long snapper. He just happens to be like 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
So he didn't get recruited because they want like a big 6'3", 6'4", you know.
Yeah.
He probably throws the best ball between his legs. So, like, if he was bigger, he'd be in the NFL. Like, there's no doubt in my mind. He is insane. He's never missed. Like, his first game as a true freshman, it was like 30-mile-an-hour pouring rain, and he's just perfect every single time. Like, and the ones that he's like, oh my gosh, they were so bad. Like,
We're off a quarter inch or
no
something.
one would ever notice. No one would ever notice. Trust me. Like, he's never missed in practice, never missed in game. Like, that's a lot of practice, just me and him. So
He was a freshman too?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
We came in together. So
Did you know him before?
no, he's from Georgia.
Oh, really? Man, it's crazy to me. And I guess it's easier now because of the internet. But, like, there's no way anybody in Georgia has heard of Tiffin University.
He hasn't either.
Right?
Yeah, no.
So, like, how does that work? The coach would just see him and send him a letter?
Basically.
And like, or an email or whatever? And like
Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically how it went for him.
Yeah.
And he was like, what's this place? Like,
Yeah.
probably a nobody school. Like, and he had a few like D1 like walk-on offers, but Tiffin offered him some money. So
Yeah. So he's like, I'm getting the hell out of Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how he feels about Georgia, but I wouldn't.
I'm
I
gonna,
don't.
I'm gonna go live in the cold. Woo. Best decision he's ever made.
Yeah, it's and like I said, it's easier now with the internet, but
Yeah.
it's just insane that anybody can go anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
You know.
It was so funny though watching him in the snow for the first time.
Yeah.
Like he's like we had a big snowstorm up in Tiffin. It was like the first snow of the year. And he's like wearing jeans and boots, like walking through the snow, like actually through the snow. Like there's trails
Sure.
to like walk through. He's like just walking through. He's like, it's snow. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna get old really quick. In like a month, he's like, I hate this so much. I want to go home.
Yeah,
Like,
sure, yeah.
I'm like, I don't blame you, but like, it's terrible. I mean, you know, I'm like from California originally. I don't like the snow either still. So yeah, not fun.
So you guys, are your other roommates freshmen as well? Mm-hmm. What do they play? What position do they play?
One's a linebacker. He might start this year. He's
Okay.
a big boy,
Nice.
stud. Like, looks can be deceiving, dude. That does like tomahawk 360 dunks and stuff like that. Like, country white boy. You never think like throwing stuff down. But
Nice.
we have a safety, a boundary safety, a receiver, and a tight end, and then kicker, long snapper. So
So did you guys like? That's who you're going to room with?
yeah, we all got a house together.
Okay.
Up in Tiffin.
All right.
So we don't have to worry about the dorm life anymore.
Did any of you live together?
Me and
as a
the
freshman?
long snapper,
Okay.
we live together. And
What did you do? Just put the special teams guys together? Or what?
well, so we met at a game. We're like, hey, special
okay.
teams. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
And I mean, honestly, like it got to the point. Like me and him are so similar. It's like a match made in heaven for like a roommate. And it got to the point where it was like the joke that if me and Ryan weren't together, it's like we only had half of our brain. It's like we need the other half to like function and
Help
stuff like
you
that.
get- yeah.
Exactly, because I mean, everyone was always in our room and stuff like that, and we'd be like, "Oh, where's your other half?" and stuff like that. I'm like, "We're not married." Like, no. And the receiver Trent, he was always in our room because he was our next door neighbor as well. So he was always there. Like he was an honorary roommate, honestly.
Sure.
Yeah, slept on my chair a lot. But, yeah.
It's really cool how immediately, like, again, just these relationships, and this dude from Georgia you've never met, never heard of Tiffin University, you guys end up being really good friends.
Yep.
Part of it is because of the positions you play, but that's how relationships happen anyway.
Yeah.
Like you develop friendships at work or with school because you're around those people all the time.
Absolutely. And in college, people are like, how you get like so close with them in such a little amount of time? I mean, they know everything about me because I'm with them 24/7.
Yeah.
Like, we stacked our schedules so we go to class together. We sleep in the same room. We go to meetings together. We practice together. We go to Bible study together. We go to church together. All roommates, so we all do the same thing like every single day. I mean, that's just the way college football works. Like, your roommate, unless you absolutely hate them, will end up being your best friend.
Yeah. Also, you talk about football schedules. There's only a certain amount of time you can schedule classes anyway because of all the other stuff you have to do for football.
Yeah, I had my entire schedule filled out. And like, I want to say this was a month ago. I got an email. My entire schedule is mixed up. I'm like, this is not what I scheduled. Turns out we're going to have like 7 a.m. practices on like Thursdays or something like that.
Yeah.
So they had to move my Tuesday-Thursday schedule to classes I don't even want. I'm like,
Oh, really?
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. Like, so I'm in...
Now, there are the classes you don't want, but it still pertains to what you need to do. Right?
Yes and no. Like, one of them's like literally a filler class that's like I'll never need in my entire life.
But I'm just saying, as far as requirements to graduate.
No.
Oh, no?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, one of, like the one I was just saying, like, I don't need. But another one is like sports management, which I do need. The problem is I already had like almost the same sports management class, which was like it's prereq.
Yeah.
Like the same semester.
Okay.
So I'm taking a prereq and then the one after it like the same semester. So we'll see how it works out. It's like child athletic development, professional athletic development. I'm like, oh, hopefully I don't mix up little Jimmy and Greg Zerline. Yeah.
So you said at the beginning, you said you want to coach. Obviously, you hope to coach in the NFL. Now,
Yep.
Just like with your kicking, you expect to be an All-American. You expect to be in the NFL. With your degree, what are some other job avenues that you could go down or stuff that you looked into? Like, oh, I'm going to have this degree. Maybe I can do these things as well.
Yeah, the beauty about sports management is that, I mean, it holds it's like a ticket to almost anywhere in the sports world. Like I could coach, I can be an AD, scout, like anything with sports I want to do, basically, like parks and rec, stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
I could do anything. That's the beauty of it all. I can go into so many things. It's such a broad thing. Like education, you have to go into teaching, stuff
Sure.
like that. And that's the thing I love about sports management. I don't think I'll ever change my mind about wanting to go into coaching. But if I do, I'll still be definitely staying in sports.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a good thing that no matter what, it's sports. So,
Yeah. Well, hey, I do Parks and Rec and
Yeah.
coach. So
yeah.
there
There it is.
you go.
There it is.
If coaching didn't work out, is there one specific thing? Like you said, it's really broad, but there's one specific thing you thought like, this is what I would shoot for.
Whew,
I know you're only gonna be a sophomore, but it's
not
it's
really.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a few backup plans, but nothing to do with sports. But I mean, I plan on staying in sports for
As long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I want to coach. I've known that's what I want to do for a few years now. I mean, there was a time in my life I wanted to go like sports broadcasting and stuff like that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah,
before.
yep. Then like after that, I just quickly realized like I want to coach the football because I was like, I'll be like a color commentator breaking it down for the players. I'm like, why not just coach? Why not just coach and break it down for the players? Like, so.
But there's always that. That's all is always there after the fact. You know, you can only. If you're a great coach, you'll coach forever, and people. I'm sure people will still hire you. But after a while, there's
hop up to the booth.
And make money there and do what you want to do. You know, and there's so many. Like I would love at one point to try because I tried it at a little league baseball game. Me and Scott Bucher were messing around and calling I think it was like a 9-year-old baseball game or something like that. It was fun. We were up we were up at Rivercrest and doing it, and but it would be fun to do that kind of stuff. Like I think when Crew retired, BCSN asked him, to be a commentator and stuff for football games. And it's just the schedule. There's he really didn't want to get out of football because he wants time and there's a lot of time. But I think it'd be fun to like do one
Absolutely.
just to see. Yeah.
I love hearing guys like Tony Romo and Drew Brees up in the booth.
Yeah,
I can't wait for Tom Brady to be.
Drew
up
Brees,
there.
I don't know. Drew Brees is.
I don't know.
He's not very good at it.
It's still cool. I agree. Tony Romo's way better, and that's the reason.
We're not even comparing the two. You can't. But
no. I just think it's cool to like hear like the Hall of Famer like perspective.
Okay.
I don't think he's a great speaker.
Okay.
But I like hearing his perspective on things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But it's like having I just saw
watch it paint dry.
Yeah, it's really bad. I saw a meme today where someone was like, "It's the middle of summer. I would watch the Jets. I would watch Booger McFarland call the Jets and Jaguars game. That's how much I want football right now."
Oh my gosh, Booger McFarland. Me and my dad love making fun of him.
Oh my! When I told my wife that his name was Booger and they call him Boog, she goes, "Really?" On TV? I'm like, "Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what they call him."
Yeah. No, me and my dad. This was like 2020. We were like when he was commentating like Friday.
I think it was Monday.
Night
he was
Football.
on Monday nights for a while.
Yeah.
With Jason Witten, who also wasn't very good.
Yeah, no, he was terrible.
I'm a Cowboys fan, and he was not good at that.
He sucked. But me and my dad would just make the joke and like, that's the field goal. It'll come for 3 points, so 3 points will be added to the board.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, Booger. Like, back to you, Jason. I don't know what to say either.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's hilarious. But it's that time in the year when if you don't like baseball, There's nothing happening.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big baseball guy.
We were listening to a baseball game. Mateo, he was like, Dad, I think the Guardians are on right now. So we were coming back. We had a coach's party at Coach Connor's house. And, we were driving back and put the game on. We listened to it on the radio. I love baseball. I'll listen to it. I'll watch it. Whatever.
I'll go to the games. I cannot sit and watch it on TV
Yeah.
unless it's like the World Series. Like
Sure.
it's just too slow for me, honestly.
There's a lot of people like that. Well, I feel that way with hockey. Same way. Like I watch the Stanley Cup finals
Absolutely.
or conference finals. I did that when we were down in Texas with my friends. The conference finals were on, so we turned that on. And there was a couple hockey fans, which always makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Or fun because they're into it, But yeah, I can't do anything with hockey. I love high school hockey.
Yeah.
I'll go to those games all the time.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah.
I mean, playoff hockey is fun to watch, but other than that, I mean, like, I can't do it. Like, if it's too boring, I'm like, this game means nothing. Like, it's like baseball. Like, there's too many games in the season for like the one to even count.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. Like, the one game doesn't matter. Like how like they won't play some of their best players and stuff.
Yeah.
Same thing with like in basketball, but basketball has less games. I mean, like LeBron can sit for like 3 weeks and they're fine. I mean, not this year apparently, but I mean, in football, college football especially, like every single game matters. Like you can have if you have like 4 losses in the NFL. Oh my gosh, what a great season! 4 losses in college football. Oh my gosh, what a terrible season.
Yeah. When a baseball game matters is at the end of the year when you miss the playoffs by a game and you can reflect on 10 games that you should have won. That's when they matter. But you have to wait till the end.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, maybe you should have played that guy.
Yeah. Or maybe maybe don't bring in the closer for the 4th game in a row or whatever. So when do you head back to school then?
Oh, the 3rd.
Okay.
3rd. Right. So in like a week and a half.
Yeah. And then it's as soon as you get back, it's football.
I have like 3 days off when I get there. I'm moving in earlier than everyone else just because I have my own house and I don't want to deal with the craziness of everyone moving at the exact same time. Yeah. And then Walmart getting raided. I want to raid it, not other people.
Just go now. Have your stuff ready.
I'm talking about the Walmart in Tiffin.
Yeah, but like, can't you? Or are you just talking about food and stuff?
Yeah, like the food stuff up there. Right. Like, yeah, I already have everything else ready. I'm just trying to stock my fridge.
Sure.
But, yeah. Before everyone else does.
Do you ever? I would imagine moving in as a freshman, first time going to college, obviously, new roommates. Like it's kind of nerve wracking. Like,
Very.
Like how's this going to be?
Very.
I met you met your long snapper prior to that, but you don't know him for like
met him for like 3 hours.
Yeah, like you don't know him very so. Is that a couple questions? How long does that feeling last? And is that something you feel now? Maybe just not to a bigger extent.
I'll say it lasted till like honestly anywhere between 2 weeks and like October. Yeah. Like it could have lasted a few months. Like thinking back on it, like sometimes I'd like be nervous, like to the point where like we're saying good night and like lights out still. But, like
good night, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, we watched Shrek night 1. I mean, like yeah. I mean, we were scrolling like Hulu, like, hey, what do you want to watch? Like,
and that's what you picked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, we picked Shrek. And then we got on a Criminal Minds kick for like the rest of the year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. But, and I've never seen it before that, so it was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's if you've never seen Criminal Minds, then yeah. I'd rewatch Criminal. I mean, there's 1,000 seasons of it now, but yeah.
And I was a big Dexter guy too, so like my dad's a coroner, so it was like cool to see like all these like investigative things. I like
go back
that kind of stuff.
I want to go back to Dexter, but let's finish this. So the nervousness gets over eventually, because it always does. So coming into this season, you know everybody, but I would imagine there's still some sort of not hesitancy, but just nervousness because you don't know how these people are 24/7. Like you're pretty good friends with these, but like how do they sleep, or are they messy? What's the bathroom look like after they get out of it? Like all that stuff.
I mean, we've all slept in each other's bed at least once, so I'm fine. We're already fine with each other.
Okay.
Like, I mean, we went on vacation together. They all got to go up to Torch Lake and have fun like 2 weeks ago. I wasn't able to go because we had work. I could have gone the week before when we had off, but I was like, I'm not going to take a week off after we just had a week off. Yeah. I'm like, that's just wrong. So they went up to Torch Lake, had fun. But, I mean, I'm so used to them already. We already went on vacation. I know how all of them sleep. A couple slobs in there. But, like, there's 2 bathrooms, so it's fine. Yeah.
Just you should make all the dirty ones use the one bathroom, same bathroom.
Are
you?
Yeah.
You guys can live in your own filth here.
Exactly. Yeah, the pulling the short straw wasn't on accident. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
There's a setup.
Yeah, a little bit.
You're here to hear, guys. They set you up.
Yep.
What about football? Does football make you nervous? Any part of it? Like any practices? For me, like even having the team camp, I'm always nervous because I just want to make sure I'm showing these guys and telling these guys the right thing to do. In the back of my mind, I know what I'm doing, but as I'm like speaking or getting ready to talk to these guys, I'm like, do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
But like, do you get any of that still when you're?
I get nervous for every time I kick.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I'm on my own, it's different. But my dad always tells me like if you're not nervous, you don't care.
Yeah. I was
Like
gonna say that.
I have to be nervous. I think, and I mean I'm kicking in front of my head coach, kicking in front of the entire team the entire time I kick, and it's almost like an agreement I made to like my teammates. It's like, hey, I'm not gonna let you down. You're not gonna let me down, kind of thing. So. Yeah. Although it's practice, I still strive to make every single kick.
Yeah.
And it's like in games, I used to get super nervous in high school. I think I'll be less nervous now just because I have more experience. I'm older. I'm more mature. But, I mean, I get nervous for every game still. I got nervous for a spring game, and that doesn't mean anything. I mean, I was more nervous because I had to kick for both teams because our other kicker, like I said, broke his foot.
Oh, okay.
So I had to kick for both teams. That was interesting. But, yeah, I mean, I still get nervous. I think it's a good thing to get nervous, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
It's prepared. It's still. It's like, hey, am I nervous because I'm not prepared, or am I nervous because this is awesome and I want to do really well?
Yeah, I mean, everyone gets nervous. Justin Tucker gets nervous. You know,
Sure,
like he said it himself. Like when he's taking his steps back, he goes through every human emotion. He's excited. He's scared. He's like nervous, but he like before he goes, he shrugs it off. He says, but that's kind of what I do too. Is like. I look up at the uprights, like when I'm like visualizing the kick. I take my steps. I'm looking up at the uprights. I look down, make sure my feet are set where they need to be, and I look at the spot, and nothing else matters. When I look in the spot, like I'm in the zone. Like I feel like I'm just like there's not a thought between my eyes, like when I look at that spot. So I get nervous up until that point.
Can you hear anything? Because it's very specific to say here because when I'm coaching. I don't always hear like the crowd. Now I have a headphone on.
Yeah.
But a lot of times like I hear football being played or the players, and it's like there could be people in the stands, there could not be. Like what do you hear when you're doing it?
I mean, it's so crazy how the human brain works that even like in high school, I heard the crowd when I was on the sidelines, but once I hit the field, I can't hear them anymore.
Yeah.
And I can hear you. I can hear Coach Kriegel. I hear Coach Sims talking about kickoff. When I'm on the field at Tiffin, I can hear our head coach talking to me like from the sidelines. I can't hear anything else. Yeah. It's so weird like how selective the human brain is to the point where like even though the student sections are being a lot louder than you and Coach Kriegel, where like I could still hear you guys and not hear them. Like it's just the brain like tuning everything else out, I guess. But I can hear the crowd when I want to, I guess. But I don't want to most of the time.
Good or bad?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I want to go back to Dexter because. And if people are listening to this and they have never seen Dexter, we're going to talk a bunch about it. So if you have interest in it and you don't want to have spoilers, fast forward, I don't know, a couple minutes. So we got into Dexter when it was already over. It wasn't brand new anymore, so we were just to fly through all the episodes. Awesome show. Like
great show.
It's such a cool like premise. Like, hey, this dude's a serial killer, but he kills bad guys.
Yeah,
like,
serial killer kills other serial killers.
Yeah. It was so cool, and I don't remember like ever feeling like there's a bad episode. I'm sure like if you go online, people talk about this episode or that episode for particular reasons. But everything was so good, and like the thing I like about that, like those kind of shows or Criminal Minds, and it's also creepy, is like how they find ways to like kill people, even the bad guys in Criminal Minds, like are they just like showing people how to do these things?
That's what
or
I'm
how
saying.
to get away with it?
Every episode's different.
Yeah.
Like Dexter, he killed people the same way almost every time, but
how he caught them or what that person did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. True. That and like the ice truck killer, like leaving him behind. Like, so, like what? Like stuff's crazy. And like in Criminal Minds, where one episode they had like no clue who the killer was, but it was a kid the whole time. Like it was like not even 8-year-old. He's like younger than that. He's like I just wanted to see what it was like to kill people. Like what? So, like you're a kid. Like stuff like that. It's, whoever comes up with these, and my mom always said it too, like about Saw and like Hostels. Like people got messed up minds to come up with this stuff. Like
my hope is that. There's more than one writer for each of these things, so I'm hoping it's like it's not just one dude and like Dexter, like guys, I got it. I know how to kill people.
Yeah,
like
one dude just sitting there writing every single script out, like he's gonna kill him this way. And
then and you're like, hey, what's up with Jack over there? Like, maybe don't go to dinner with him alone.
Hey man, that's a messed up way to kill someone. If I said, No, put it in.
It's gonna be a good episode. I
Yeah,
promise.
It's gonna be great. The entire thing, it's beautiful. But yeah, work of art.
How'd you feel about the last season of Dexter, the most recent one?
The one that was like just released.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch it actually.
You haven't watched it yet?
I haven't.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Good thing I didn't say anything.
Oh, we
about
can
it.
talk about it if you want.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I don't want to ruin anything.
Yeah. So what's it on Showtime?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes.
Yeah. When my dad got that, I was up in Tiffin, and we wanted to watch it together. He decided not to wait.
No.
Yeah. And then we like don't have that anymore just because we got it purely for that, and so we got rid of Showtime and all that stuff. But so I'll have to illegally stream it on my phone or something. But I had no problem with that.
It was good. I don't think, and maybe it's because like it was like the premise of that season was a little bit different. It wasn't as good as the other stuff. But I think that always happens, especially when a show takes off. I don't know how many, 4 years or maybe even longer, and then they come back and do this season. Probably be the last season. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
But it was good. It wasn't. It was different.
Yeah.
I'll say than the other ones.
Yeah.
So
My dad, like when we finished watching it originally, like the original series.
Yeah.
I was like, man, what's his son's name again? It slipped my mind.
I can't remember either. Yeah.
But it was like, I was like, man, they should have like a spinoff called like Finding Dexter. Like his son like kills anyone in his path, like find Dexter and stuff like that. But I thought that would have been a cool premise, but
yeah.
I guess he already knows him now. But
Well, it's pretty. You're not far off.
I know.
We'll say that, right?
I know.
That was that was a cool part of it. But yeah, it was. I don't know. It was just like missing something.
Yeah. Yeah, murder.
Well, there was plenty of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Criminal Minds too. So Criminal Minds. There was CSI. Have you ever seen CSI?
I have a few times, but I'm like not huge into it.
Yeah. So that's a little bit older. Like Criminal Minds when they first started, but even that one was super creepy too. But again, the same way, like how are these people, or why are these people killing them, or how do they think about it? You brought up Saw. Have you seen those movies?
I've seen every single one.
Me
yeah.
too.
I'm a big horror movie guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter Pan too, of course, but like yeah, horror movies and Peter Pan. Yeah.
Peter Pan.
Yeah, back in the good old days.
Yeah, I remember that.
I have the tattoo now, so
Oh, nice.
yeah, the stars. It's for anti-bullying and stuff like that.
Okay,
so,
all
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So my wife and I watched all the Saw movies. That was like a date night when we were dating. We'd always go see them. I don't know why she went to the first one, or how we started seeing them, but that's just what happened. But that was the same thing. Like, it's so involved.
Yeah, messed up.
Yeah, like it'd be one thing. It's like, yeah, this contraption is going to shoot this person, but there's like 8 steps prior to that.
It's like a little Rube Goldberg effect.
Yeah, just of murder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's smart, but dark.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah. Do you guys play video games when you guys are up at Tiffin?
Video games?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Madden.
Yeah.
I mean, we got on like a Fortnite kick again for some reason.
Oh,
Like,
really?
Yeah, for like no reason, like in like March.
Okay.
We were just playing Fortnite again.
Probably because they have a no build. Do you build or no build?
Both.
Yeah,
It depends on how I'm feeling for the day. But
Building's horrible.
yeah, but I mean, if you take out the building, it basically becomes Call of Duty though.
Yeah, but I love that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
get
like
it.
about it,
I
because I
get
can
it,
shoot
right.
well. I can't build for anything.
I can't
So,
either.
yeah.
But like I still like going in and beating people who can build when
Yeah.
I can't build. But no, a lot of Madden actually. But I only lost one game in the entire year last year. So I mean,
You guys keep track?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. The winner always does.
I mean, it's easy to keep track when only one person's beat you. And he had the Ravens with Lamar, and I was using some terrible team because I was like, I'll beat anyone right now. And I got humbled a little bit, but because I was on like a 10-game win streak. It was like right in the beginning of the school year. I was like, I'll beat anyone right now. I'll use any team. You can use the Ravens. I do not care.
Yeah.
I got lost, but I got humbled.
We used to play. They used to have a college baseball video game that it was only a couple years.
Yep.
But my friends were in college playing baseball at BG, so we would play it all the time. We had a broke down case of beer, cardboard, just put on the wall, and we keep track of our records and stuff on there.
You're
We
21,
play it all
right?
the time.
21.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So we would play all the time, and all our games would go into like the 18th inning. It'd be like 0-0 or 1-1. But it was so much fun, like just knowing like, hey, we're gonna go do this thing, or having like a set thing, or even with you and your roommate watching TV, like, hey, you ready for another episode or whatever. Like knowing like no matter how much shit we get into or trouble or hard work or all this stuff, we can get to come home and at least do this one thing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Having a set thing like that to do is always fun.
Yeah, always just know like this is it.
No, I mean, during spring ball, we got into like such a routine, and then we got in like a Family Guy kick at one point too. So it was like such a routine because we got off our meetings before everyone else before practice. Like by the time we got off, we had like 2.5 hours before practice started for spring ball, and everyone else like would have the meetings up until it was like time to go to practice. So like we go get Taco Bell, eat some food. I get a Baja Freeze like every day. I was like, why is my acne so bad? I wonder why. And then we would turn on Family Guy and just like chill before practice. I mean, it's good to have a nice laugh before practice and stuff too. So
what is are your meetings special teams meetings? So you said you get out early than everyone. What's involved in a special teams meeting? Not just spring ball. That's its own thing, but like in a game week, like when you have team
like, what does a week look like, or just a meeting?
Just your meetings, because I would imagine like, hey, make sure we kick well. See ya.
Well, for our special teams meetings, it's everyone on special teams, not just the long snapper, kicker, and punter. We do have like individualist meetings, but for that's just like breaking down a little bit of film. But like, and this is no disrespect to any coaches. It's like they're not kicking coaches, so like they're not snapping coaches. They can help a little bit here and there, but overall, like that's not what they're getting paid to coach.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll go in there, like, they'll be like, all right, this is the punt formation we're going to go with this week. This is the kickoff scheme we're going to go with. So they're like, I know what to practice going into practice.
Yeah.
This is, like, where their hardest rushers are going to come on field goal, and, like, they'll adjust the line accordingly of, like, who needs to be where, stuff like that. And that's, like, overall. I mean, it's only, like, a 15-minute meeting each day.
But for you, the long snapper, punter, I mean, it's not as involved.
I mean, when we have like I said, individualist meetings, it's, like, just the kicker, snapper, punter. I mean, most of them are self-ran almost.
Yeah, sure.
So like we're in there ourselves, and like, I mean, we're our own harshest critics, as like most positions are. But I mean, kickers, snappers, punters, especially, like every little detail matters to us. And, I mean, when we're kicking, like the only people who can really help us other than ourselves are other kickers. Yeah. Or someone who's like actually a kicking coach. So I mean, we'll help each other out here and there, but at the same time, you're competing with that guy, so it's like you don't help him out too much, like so. Yeah. Well,
I would imagine like when you get up to the NFL, you're a special teams coach. You're mostly coaching the guys running down the field or blocking.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly what special teams coordinators really do. Yeah. Is they don't really coach the kickers per se. Like, they will have a kicking coach on staff most of the time. Like the Ravens have a kicking coach on staff, like, for example. Not every team does, though, which is an issue. But for the most part, special teams coordinator handles like the blocking schemes on punt and like running down on kickoff, like with the personnel on that. Like people think it's just the snappers and like kickers. Like they don't really coach them that much. Actually.
No, I mean, how much more perfect can you get, like with those guys being in the NFL? Like absolutely. They know what they're doing for the most part.
I mean, it's like Tom Brady having a quarterback coach. Like, what do you need that for?
Well,
the most useless but highest paid job in the world.
And most of them turn into offensive coordinators and
he's head coaches. Offensive coordinator right now, Leftwich. Yeah.
All right, Jax. Well, I know you got to get out of here, but I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate all your work. It was great to see you this summer. I wish I could have been out there more, but got all kinds of other stuff going on. But I'm glad you got your opportunity. I'm hoping. One thing I want to do more is I like, because we went to Heidelberg games last year, but I'm starting, because I've been coaching a while. I know kids at other schools now, so I'm hoping to like make it to other games, because my kids love going to games. So hopefully I can catch a game. Tiffin game.
Tiffin Finley, me and Mike Sini.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where's that at in Tiffin?
It'll be at Tiffin.
Okay.
Big game. It'll probably be under the lights.
What date? Do you know what the date of that by any chance?
I mean, it's going to be the last week of the season, probably. For probably for the league championship as well.
All right. So, yeah. We'll definitely try to make that.
That's a big one.
Yeah. So good luck this year.
Yep.
And as it'd be cool, maybe some point in the season we can come back on. We can do it via Zoom and
that'd be
talk
awesome.
about the season and stuff. But yeah, good luck this year, and thanks again for coming out here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for checking out this episode of the Nerd Ball Podcast. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're hearing this, on any of the podcatchers. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We're coming at you 2 times a week now, audio and video. Check us out on all the social medias. Just search the Nerd Ball Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We're out there. Gmail is the nerdballpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to shoot us an email, we'll be happy to get back to you. Thanks to Real JP Multimedia, Cuttlefish Graphics,
Perrysburg Junior High STEM Lab, and Big Daddy Graphics for helping out the podcast. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.